Hello everyone, welcome back to Sukiyo's Art channel. Yes, I'm on a high today because summer is coming. You can hear it because I'm going crazy. I'm so happy because I live in the UK, in London specifically, and a few days ago we found out that lockdown is slowly going to be lifted again, which is great. Non-essential shops are going to be opening around April, and the summer is coming. It's sunny, it's sunny. It's been sunny today. It's been sunny for a few days. It's still cold, but I am so happy because I hate winter. Okay, maybe I don't hate with winter. That's a bit too strong, but I definitely prefer summer. So I am very happy today, as you can gather. I apologize for not doing a video for a week now, 2 weeks, I believe. Apologies. There's been, I've had a lot on my plate. I do apologize. I'm trying to be a bit more organized about this. I'm trying to make more videos. So just bear with me. I'll get the rhythm of it in the end. Okay, so today we're going to be painting, or I'm going to be painting. I don't know who we is. I'm going to be painting this picture that I drew of Naveen and Tiana for Valentine's Day. Okay, I was going to do it on that video, but I didn't get time to do it. So yeah, I'm going to do it today. I'm actually really looking forward to it because I really like Disney, or rather, I love Disney movies. And I was saying in that video that Naveen and Tiana are my favorite couple. And since then, I have rewatched The Princess and the Frog. So I will be talking about that movie today. But before we do, I wanted this video to also be a review of these gouache paints. These are called, let me just take the cover. The Memory, hopefully you can see that. The Memory Professional Artist Gouache Color. And then it says Lampo Painting Materials made in PRC, which I believe stands for the Republic of China, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, and these are really cheap. You can buy them for like £10 on Amazon. The packaging is not amazing. It's very simple, very boring to look at. They're not a very famous brand name. They are called Memory Gouache Color. By the way, I've got my windows open because it's quite hot in here. But if you can hear the traffic and you can't hear me, please let me know and I'll close the windows. Also, for those of you who are new to my channel and have not watched my videos before, I do have finches in my bedroom. So if you hear that squeaking in the background, those are my finches. I hope you can hear me over them because they can be quite loud. Okay, so this set is called the Memory Gouache Color. Okay, I think it's about £10 on Amazon, so it's not really expensive. This is an old set. It used to belong to my brother. He bought it first and then he passed it on to me. That's why the cover is a bit ripped up. There's tape on it. It's a used set, as you can see. It's well loved, and because of that, I have a few problems with it because of the oldness. I believe you can see how some of the, like this one, is really mashed up. The wrapper around it, and there's a reason for that, and I'll explain it in the video. But anyway, because I was going to do a live video of this, I didn't want to do the color chart in the video because I didn't want people to get bored. So I did the color chart beforehand just to get it out of the way. And there's just a few things I want to talk about before I go on to the painting. So let me just take a sip of water before we continue. Bear with me. All right, okay. Yeah, so this was the first set of gouache that I ever used. This was my introduction to gouache, at least as an adult. I may have used other sets as a kid, but I don't remember. And I immediately fell in love with it. I loved how flat the colors were, or rather matte and opaque the colors were, how vibrant they were. I think they were so pretty. And I have used other sets since then, gouache, more professional sets, but this was my introduction into it. So I was looking forward to using it again since I've used other professional sets to see how they compare, because the official title of this gouache paints is Memory Professional Artists Gouache. So okay, so these are the presentation of the tubes. I think it's pretty okay. It's nothing amazing, but I think they look decent enough. It has the number of the color, the name of the color, which is always helpful in my opinion, the name of the brand, Memory, and then it says gouache color, 12 milliliters. And with cheap sets, I have to say, oh, why is it out of focus? Come on, come back, focus, come back, focus. I don't know what's going on, guys. Sorry. Oh, there we go. Right. With cheap sets, often what I find is that when you have a little tube like that, usually there's a lot of fillers inside, and the tubes are not as full as this. But actually, these tubes are quite full. So I was quite impressed with that. And even though they are little, or they appear to be little, they actually go a long way. And I found that to be the case with these colors. Now, gouache is often, described as opaque watercolor, which is, I suppose, is kind of true. It's a little bit more matte than watercolor, but if you dilute it with water, you'll also get translucence and washes that you would with watercolor. So that's why gouache is such a great paint. It's very versatile. Versatile? I think that's how you say that word. So this is my color chart. I just have a few things to say. On the positive, the colors are very vibrant, very pretty. I felt that they were really, really good quality considering how cheap this set is. So I was really happy with that. On first impression of doing the color chart, I would say they're great for beginners and even professional artists, I think. I don't know if they're light fast or not, because usually with cheap sets, you don't get that information. They, it may be that some colors are, some colors aren't, because it depends on which pigment and which chemicals they use to create the paint. But there's no information to say whether they're light fast or not. But I think if you're an illustrator and you don't need your paints to be light fast, I don't think you need a professional set or more expensive set. I really think these paints are good enough. To do the job, but we'll find out after I paint in my painting. This is just a first impression. Some of them are more matte and opaque than others, as you can see, like this red, this pink, this purple, this blue, and that viridian green, and this brown, the black, definitely. Some of them are a little bit more translucent, but I suppose that's the case with any art supply. You don't get that information with these because this is a cheap set, but usually with professional sets, you'll get information on the tubes about which colors are more opaque and which colors are more translucent. So it's actually pretty typical, even in professional sets, for some colors to be more opaque and more matte than others, and some colors to be more translucent than others. So yeah, this is not something that just happens with cheap sets. Yeah, so that's the positives. The negatives would be that some of the colors, you can see the particles separating from the water, which is something that is actually quite common with cheap sets. But overall, I would say the quality of the paints are actually quite good. Again, I'll test it out on the painting, but I've had a good experience so far. They were also really enjoyable to paint with, which is not always necessarily the case with cheap watercolor sets or cheap gouache sets or cheap paint sets in general. So that's a good thing. I think the biggest thing for me was that some of the tubes had dried for some reason, and I couldn't really, it took a lot to unscrew about 3 of the tubes to get the paint out. And with this one, it's all ripply, like this has come off, because at one point I was like trying to open it and I twisted the tube and I panicked and I thought, oh my gosh, did I just break the tube? Is all the color going to spill out? But so I had to rip out the wrapper to find out, but it was fine. The only problem was that the color is not coming out a lot. It seems to be dried on the inside for some reason. Again, it may be because this is an old set. So I'm not sure why it's doing that. I can get some color out, as you can see, but not a lot. So some color's coming out. I've placed this tube and another one, which is sharing the same problem, under the sun and also in front of a heater to try to get the color to melt on the inside. And I think I was slightly successful, because with this one, I couldn't really squeeze it before, and now I can. It's only that the color is not coming out as much as oh, okay, it's coming out now. So it's worked, thank God. This one is actually coming out, as you can see. Okay, that's great. But with this one, just going to close that for a second. Yeah. But with this one, which I had the same problem with, it's even more dried inside. So I keep trying to squeeze it out. Ugh, and I'm really applying a lot of strength to that to get it to come out. Ugh, but it's not coming out. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to use that color at all. Ugh. When I was doing the color chart for this one and this one, so this one is here and this one is here, I actually had to dip the paintbrush inside the tube and scrape or whatever around in order to get the paint out, in order to put it down on the color chart. That was the only way I was able to do it. But since I put them in front of the heater, this one is squeezing out, so that's good. But this one isn't. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to use that one. We'll see. I might have to scrape it out. I even used the pen to kind of like widen the hole, but it hasn't It hasn't really helped, which is really annoying, but there you go. Yeah, so that's one thing to keep in mind with these watercolors. Again, I don't know if it's because they're old and they haven't been used in a long time. I'm destroying the wrapper. But yeah, that's one problem I've had with them. With the gray one, this is an interesting story because with the gray one, at first I had the same problem. And then I squeezed too hard, and all the paint, as you can see, went everywhere. Like this huge blob of paint came out. So I tried to put it back inside the tube, but not all of it would go inside the tube, as you can see. So it ended up, I ended up not putting the lid on. I thought I'll just let it dry in order to keep the paint, because with gouache, it's okay if it dries because you can reactivate it with water. You don't want to do this with acrylic because once acrylic dries, that's it. You can't use it again. So you don't want to do this with acrylic. But with gouache, I thought it's okay. Sorry, just drinking some more water. So I'll let it dry on the outside for use later on, and I haven't put the lid back in. And then because there was so much paint here, I decided to do this little sketch with the gray, because it went over the blue, it went over the black, it went over the purple. So I did this little like sketch, which I think is quite cute actually, so as to not waste the paint, because I hate wasting paint. That's one of my biggest bugbears. So that's something to keep in mind, that if because they're cheap, I don't know which chemicals they have inside, but if they dry inside, you might struggle to get it out again. But yeah, I mean, that was a weird experience for me. But other than that, I really enjoyed creating the color chart, and I thought the colors, as I said, are very vibrant, really pretty, and they actually felt like gouache, which is great because with a lot of cheap gouache sets, sometimes the gouache is too streaky and it's not enjoyable to use. And some of the colors were a little bit streakier than others, but for the most part, they weren't. They were really enjoyable to use. They were really opaque, sorry, and matte. Some were more translucent than others, but again, that's typical with all paint sets. So yeah, so far, other than the weird problems of drying inside the tubes and stuff, which again, I'm putting down to this set being old, I thought it was a really enjoyable experience. So when I first used this set, I didn't have that problem. So I'm not sure what's happened there. They were working fine. But considering they're only £10 on Amazon, I'll double check on my iPad. I'll look really quickly, because last time I checked, it was £10 on Amazon. But considering they're really cheap, even if they go a little bit awry, it doesn't matter because they're so cheap that, in my opinion, is still worth the purchase. So I'm just going to put in memory wash, see what comes up. Okay, here we go. So the 12 set, I don't know if you guys can see that. The 12 set is like $6.99. There. Come on, focus, camera. It's not focusing, but the 12 set is $6.99 and the 24 set is $9.99. So as again, it's really not expensive. It's really a bargain considering the quality that you get. And you can see it has 417 reviews and it's 4.5. So that's pretty good, I would say. Okay, so those are my first impressions on these on this gouache paint set. So now let's get on with the painting. So let me just move some things around. I've got my palette here and my brushes. Oh, the other thing I forgot to say is some of the gray dried on this brush because so much paint just like exploded out, and I didn't want to lose it, so I let it dry instead of using this brush again, and I thought I'd use it again at another date, but we'll see what happens. Let's paint this in. Because this is a cartoon piece, I'm looking at the reference picture here. Oh, sorry. I have a lot of pictures on my iPad. It's pretty flat. There aren't a lot of shadows or anything like that. So let's see what happens. I'm going to try and make it as 3D looking as possible. Sorry, the light is like shining directly on my iPad, so that's what it's reflecting. It looks like it's the sun, but it's not the sun. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to try my best to make it look good, to do the reference picture justice. But I can't promise anything. But it should be fun anyway. I think I'm going to change some of the colors around. I know that Tiana is wearing orange there. I may use like some sort of pink instead because I generally like pinks. And no, it's not because I'm a girl. When I was a kid, my favorite color was blue, if I remember correctly. I apologize. My table will shake a little bit because it's broken. I'll try not to shake it. I hope, I don't know if you can see that on camera. I do apologize. I'm going to rub out the outlines so I can start painting. And I'll probably create some outlines at the end with colored pencil. We'll see. I'll probably change the color of Tiana's shirt because I don't like that orange so much. Ooh, the water is going everywhere. It's one of the biggest problems I have. This always happens when I try to rub things out. It's very, very annoying. I have rewatched the movie The Princess and the Frog between the last video and this one. It is my favorite Disney film. I think I mentioned that in my last video, when the one that I did for Valentine's Day. Let me just get rid of the rubber crumbs. Crumbs. Bear with me, guys. Well, maybe this is not the best rubber because it's leaving some. Ay, Jesus. Water is spilling again. Yes, birdies. My birds chirp a lot. They're very happy. I just had a baby chick actually. She's growing really quickly. Oh, Jesus. So I'm really happy with my birds, and I think they're very happy too. So excited to have another bird. She's a girl, by the way. So it's exciting. Hi. So much water. I'm not even going to try and fight this. I'm just going to accept that the table is going to be wet because the water keeps spilling. I don't care. Fine, I'll try one more time. Look how wet this is. It's ridiculous. Ay. Okay. Oh, my rubber is wet. No. Oh, well, that's not good. Because it got wet, it's now like rubbing the paper off. I think I'm going to leave the rubbing there. Just leave it at that before the paper dies completely. And I'm just going to start painting. I mean, gouache is pretty opaque, so we should paint over the lines anyway. Okay, so I think I'm going to do the skin tones first. Just going to put that there. Just going to take a sip of tea because I have some tea in my massive mug. Look how massive that is. I love this mug. I love this mug. Anyway, hashtag not sponsored. Okay, here we go. So why do I love The Princess and the Frog? Why is it my favorite Disney movie? I mentioned some things in my last video. Let's see, which browns do I have to use? I would say that one, of course. I can't use maybe a mixture of these two. This is going to be fun. I mentioned some of the points why I like the movie so much in my last video. Yeah. It's going to be fun. But I didn't really go into depth why I like the movie. I know to a lot of people, The Princess and the Frog is not their favorite film. They don't think the songs are as catchy as some of the other Disney films. And I think some people had a problem with the fact that Tiana, the first Black princess, spent most of the movie as a frog, which I kind of understand, to be honest. I do get where they're coming from. Can't really hold that against them. And I think some people found the movie boring. But the reason why I personally like the movie is, first of all, I do like Tiana. I think she's one of the most relatable Disney princesses because she actually works hard for the things that she wants. She's not like waiting for a prince to rescue her, which is great. And though ultimately, spoilers, by the way, for those of you who haven't watched the movie, so don't say I didn't warn you. Spoilers ahead. And though ultimately, she ends up realizing that love is more important than success, which, you know what, I actually agree with the message of the movie. She's not waiting around for someone to rescue her, which is great. She's still working hard, and even after she finds love with Naveen, she still carries on pursuing her dreams, and then it becomes their dream, and they work on it together. And I think that's great. She doesn't give up her dreams just because she's found a man. She's not expecting him to take care of her just because he comes from a rich family and he's a prince. She's still pursuing her dreams. She's her own person, and I think that's so great. And she's such a great role model for girls. I mean, I would rather my daughter, if I had one, and hopefully I will one day, want to be like Tiana than like, I don't know, Snow White or Sleeping Beauty. And don't get me wrong, I do like those movies, okay? I am a romantic and I do enjoy those movies. I just don't want, I wouldn't want my daughter to be sitting around waiting for some guy to rescue her. That's all. Let's see if I can get anything out of this one. Oh, this is going to be very frustrating. How ironic, ow, that I need to create brown skin colors and the one gouache set, ow, I use is not working. The brown, the brown, the brown colors are not working. Okay, let me dig in there. You gotta dig a little deeper. That's what I'm gonna try and do. You gotta dig a little deeper in order to get the color to come to you. I know it's annoying because the color won't come out, but you gotta dig a little deeper anyhow. Oh my god, I managed to make it rhyme. I'm so proud of myself. I don't think I'm gonna get this out. Okay, what other browns do I have? Maybe I can add some yellow to this. I'm just gonna try and add some yellow because that brown is not coming out. And that one is the it's this one here. That's the one I needed, and that's burnt sienna not working. The other one I used was this one, which is burnt umber. So I'm just gonna try and add some yellow. Oh, I have two yellows. I have lemon yellow, which is a bit dirty on the color chart. I think previously when I used it, I mixed it with another color because it came out looking a little bit muddy. But I think that's too yellow anyway. I think I'm gonna try adding a mid yellow, which is this one, which is a little bit more transparent, but I think it might get me the brown that I need. It might not be the brown that I want, but it's the brown that I need. Oh, that's too much. Oh my God. This is ridiculous. Some colors just come out like crazy. Look at that one. I squeezed a little bit and look, all that pink came out. It's ridiculous. But some of them you squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and nothing comes out. Oh man, I think I added too much yellow. We'll see. We'll see. Looking a little bit greenish. Oh, I added too much yellow. That's not good. That is not good. Look, that's a green. What the heck is going on there? How am I getting a green from a brown and a yellow? What's happening? I know, birds. I know. It's crazy. What's happening? What is happening? Why is that a green? Why? Why? What's happening? I'm going to add some red to that. Okay. Oh, I've got about 3 reds here. So we have a vermilion. That's a vermilion. That one is a bit streaky. This was the scarlet. And this is the crimson lake. By the way, I love that rose there because it looks like an opera rose, which is my favorite pink. I think it's gorgeous. I really do. Okay, I think I'm going to try the scarlet. Ugh, and see what happens. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so talking about the Princess and the Frog again, I personally really like the songs. It's true that they might not be maybe as catchy as The Little Mermaid or Beauty and the Beast. I think The Little Mermaid has probably the catchiest songs in any movies, other than Aladdin. Aladdin, the genie songs are very, very catchy. That's getting closer to it, but that's still a little bit. That's a bit too red. I think I'm gonna have to add a little bit more yellow to that. Not, well, no, let me try mid yellow again. I think the songs were mostly written by Randy Newman for The Princess and the Frog, which, I love Randy Newman, so that would explain why I personally like the song so much. Um, he also wrote the songs for the Toy Story movies. Hmm. Let me add a bit more red to that. It's a bit orangey. Okay, let me see. Okay, I could use that brown. I think I'm going to use that one. Might not be completely right, but I think I'm going to use it as her skin color. Oh, whoever's liked the video, thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. And thank you for the 3 people currently watching. Not watching, watching. That means a lot to me. Thank you, guys. Oh, 2 likes. Thank you. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's see if I can make this work. Um, right. This is not the right brush, really. I should be using the one which has the gray in it. I think I'm going to try something. Oh, that's pretty dried in. Oh my gosh. Let me crush that into bits. What's happening? There's something weird about this gouache. Just, it's not supposed to dry like that. Maybe that's why once it dries in the tube, it's so difficult to get it out because it just, look at that. Look how hard it is to activate that again. It's not supposed to be that difficult to reactivate Gouache again. Come on, that's silly. I don't know what it's made of because there's no information on the tubes or on the lids. I think that's going to ruin my brush. Uh-oh. Just trying to get rid of the grays now. The gray bits, right? Jesus. My brush is gonna die. I'm gonna lose my brush. No! You can tell it's a happy day because I'm acting silly. See how my birds agree with me? Oh my God, how am I gonna clean my brush? Oh, okay. We're gonna try and get rid of it that way. Yeah, so talking about the Princess and the Frog again, I do like the music. I don't think all of it was written by Randy Newman. I think they use different artists, but for the most part, I think the songs were written by Randy Newman, and I personally really like them. I've always loved Randy Newman. I've loved his work in Toy Story, and I think he's a great, artist, musician. I think he's so talented. He's one of my favorite musicians. I really love his lyrics. I love his music. I know that he simplifies his lyrics a lot. They're not overly complicated, but I think he gets his point across and his message across. And I think it takes a lot of talent to be able to to convey such complex messages in such simplified lyrics. And I think he's a genius. I really do. And so for that reason, I really love the music. Thank you so much for the 3 likes, guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you for your support. So that's one of the reasons why I like the songs. I really like "You Gotta Dig a Little Deeper." I think that's like one of probably my favorite song in the movie because it's so catchy. I also really like Mama Odie, though I like all the characters. I love Mama Odie. She's so cool. I love the crocodile. I love how he wants to be human. I know like there's a lot of influences of the Jungle Book in that movie because it's like in the Jungle Book, um, one of the characters is not the bear. I forget his name now. It's the other one. I think it's one of the monkeys. He sings this song about wanting to be human, and how he wants to be like the man cub, And so I felt that in The Princess and the Frog, I felt like they were kind of borrowing a little bit from the Jungle Book. I felt that influence in the film, and though the Jungle Book is not one of my favorite movies, I still like that. I like that he's desperate to become a human being because because he wants to play is it a trumpet or a sax? No, it's a trumpet, isn't it? He wants to play a trumpet with the humans, but of course he can't because he's a crocodile or he's a alligator. I'm not sure. And so he goes to Mama Odie and he's like, "Oh, can you make me human?" But she doesn't. But she doesn't make the humans back again either. Because it's all about them finding out what they need rather than what they want. And it's really interesting actually because I really like the way the story plays out because at one point there's this like caveat where they find out that if they get Lottie, who is Tiana's girlfriend, as in female friend, to kiss Naveen because she's a princess during the Mardi Gras festival. Mama Ori explains that if Naveen kisses her, both he and Tiana will, turn back into humans. But she does that and it doesn't work because they haven't got what they need at that point in the story. Um, so they have to go, they decide in the end because they love each other so much. And this is one of the reasons why I love the pairing of Naveen and Tiana. They decide to stay frogs because in their eyes, they would rather stay frogs, but be in love and be with each other because they love so much. love each other so much rather than be human and Naveen going off and marrying someone that he's not interested in. And I think that's so lovely and precious. I really think that's fantastic that, that's how much they love each other, that they want to be together even though, you know what, they may stay frogs for the rest of their life. That's true love. So I really like that. And I love how at the end, again, spoilers, they do become humans again. Of course they do, because once they marry, officially Tiana is a princess. So they both turn human because he kisses a princess when he kisses his wife, who has just become a princess by marrying him. So yeah, and I really love that Naveen. He has up until that point, he has no ambitions. He just wants to party and have fun. Um, oh, this is a difficult bit. He just wants to party and have fun. But in falling in love with Tiana, he learns a little bit of responsibility, and he decides to adopt her dream and help her become successful because he loves her so much. And I think that's really inspiring that the two are working together on building something with each other. I think that's really great. Yeah, yeah, what am I doing? I know it looks crap now, but hopefully it won't look this crap when I'm finished. If it looks less crap, I'll be happy. I don't want it to look crap, but if it has to look crap, less crap would be ideal. I also really like the visuals in this movie. Like when she's singing about, she's almost there because she's saved the money that she needs to buy her restaurant. This is before she meets Naveen. And, they use this. It's just beautiful. The visuals are just gorgeous. They use this different style to illustrate that particular song, and it's just so beautiful. There's this kind of art deco feel to it, which makes sense because I believe the story takes place in the 20s. The costumes certainly suggest that. um oh, Getting a foot cramp for some reason, or rather a leg cramp. Why? I'm sitting down. What's happening? I don't know. And yeah, and she's really dreaming, and she doesn't let the fact that she's not white and that she's a girl hold her back. She dreams that she will be successful in spite of that, and I think that's a really good message to send, that through hard work you can become successful. And yes, there will be obstacles, but if you keep fighting for things, eventually they'll come to you. So I really like The Princess and the Frog. I really like the message overall, um, of the movie. Might have to get a different brush, one that's a little bit thinner than this one, actually. The colors have mixed pretty well, I have to say. I'm quite impressed with the way they mixed. I think I'm gonna have to get a different brush, though. They dry a little bit. I think because it's a cheap set, they dry a little bit chalky, which makes sense. With cheap sets, they tend to add chalk to it. Uh, okay. Gonna leave her skin to dry, and I'm gonna try and do Naveen's skin. I may have to do a second layer of that, but I am gonna change my brush. So if you guys bear with me, I'm just gonna try and find a different brush. Okay, here's one. This one's pretty thin. I think I can do better though. Okay, I found two brushes that are pretty thin. Hopefully I can use these. Okay. Okay. So Tiana's hair is just like straight black. There's no highlights, there's no shadows. It's just a flat black. So that's what I'm gonna do, I guess. Let me just, yeah. That does look a little bit streaky. Okay. Let me just add the black. Both her hair and his hair are black, straight black. So yeah, I'm just gonna do that. Just gonna pour it into. Okay, the black has dried somewhat and is doing what the browns are doing. It's not. Oh, it's coming out now. This is good. Yeah, and I do think the songs are catchy because even when we're singing "We're Human," or "When We're Human," I think is the name of the song, which is again is one of my favorite songs. Again, a lot of it feels very much like a nod to the Jungle Book when they're going, "When I'm a human being, I head straight to New Orleans," and it's on the river. They're like sitting on the belly of the alligator. It feels very much like in the Jungle Book when Mowgli, I don't know how to say his name, like sitting on Baloo's. Oh, that's his name, Baloo. Baloo's belly, and they're singing. It does feel very Jungle Book-ish, but I do like it. I think it works better in The Princess and the Frog, though, because The Jungle Book is not my favorite Disney movie, I have to say. Um, Gosh, what's going on with her eyes? I think I need to add some more brown to that, but I'm gonna add black to the hair first. When I put it down on the color chart, it seemed like a really nice, like black. Like a proper black. I was very happy. My birds are having fun. Let's say I find it a little hard to see with this light that I have uh, shining down on my sketchbook. It's too bright, I think. So yeah, all the songs are really catchy to me. When we're human, almost there, you got to dig a little deeper. I think it really suits the feel of the movie, and I think they are catchy, and they're all the movie's just beautifully made. The Of course it's Disney, and all the artists are Disney is just incredibly talented. All their artists are incredibly talented. They always create masterpieces. Um, So this movie is like a visual feast. It's just beautiful, and one of another reason why I like it so much is because of the voodoo scenes. I think they are so colorful and gorgeous, and I love the setting. I love that it's set in New Orleans, and and the evil guys like this voodoo man, and they can really play around with that visually, which is I think what they were going for. And it's just really interesting. His song is really good as well. I forget now what it's called, but it's when he drags Naveen and his servant into his room to try and manipulate them, because he's trying to turn Naveen into a frog. And then, he wants the servant guy, he convinces him to marry the rich girl so he can take her daddy's money. I also really like how in the movie he says, "We both know the real magic of this world is money." Like that's such a capitalist point they're trying to make. And I think it's actually a really valid point. And I really like the way that Dr. Facilier, or whatever his name is, the shadow man, the voodoo guy, is drawn. Is kind of, he moves a little bit like Jafar. He has this really slender, elegant frame, and I really like the way he moves in the movie. My male bird, Joshua, is talking to me. I think he thinks I'm talking to him, so he's just chirping. He wants to be part of the conversation. I keep hearing that deeper song playing through my head. It's just so catchy. I can't get it out of my head. And it's so beautifully animated as well. It's so gorgeous, so colorful. I would recommend everybody watch this movie. I also like how in the movie Tiana, it shows that Tiana has to make sacrifices because at one point her friends invite her to dance, just to have some fun and chill with her friends, but she can't do it because she's like so overworked and she's running two jobs at the same time. She barely sleeps. They actually, the way they show this is actually really clever. She's working herself to death because she wants to follow this dream. And when her friends invite her out, she can't go out with them because she's so focused on making this dream a reality. So she's really, really hardworking, and I think she's just an excellent role model. I mean, I'm not saying people should work themselves to death because I don't agree with that, but I really like that she works so hard to achieve her dreams. I mean, there's a few other Disney princesses that are very hardworking, or like Mulan. She doesn't want her dad to die because he's old and he's being called to war to protect China, and she's like, no, I can't let him go because he's elderly and he's not going to be able to handle this, and he will die. So she disguises herself as a boy and to find in his place, and that's a huge sacrifice on her part. And I think that's beautiful. And Mulan is one of my favorite Disney princesses, even though I'm not sure how she counts as a princess, because I think the guy she likes is not even a prince himself. So I'm not sure how that works. But Disney logic, people. Okay? Disney logic. She's a princess. End of story. The point is, Mulan is really cool. Like Tiana, she fights. She makes a sacrifice to achieve her goal, and she doesn't rely on a man to do it. And when she's at the camp and they're all being trained to fight the Huns whom are attacking China, she doesn't give up because she's a girl. She does get discouraged. And even the guy says to her, I forget what the name of the general is, the one she falls in love with, but he says to her, I can't teach you anything. You're not suited for this. You should go home. But she doesn't give up because she knows how important it is that she do this for her father. So she stays, and I think that also teaches a great lesson about not giving up. I think I made her bun too big because I'm still learning how to use paintbrushes properly. But hopefully it will work. Oh my god. Maybe I'm getting distracted. Maybe I'm talking too much. I think I'm just gonna paint his hair in and let her hair dry, and then I'll try and fix that a bit more because I think I made her head too big. So yeah, so Mulan is an example of a princess that makes sacrifices herself for a nobler cause. But in general, there isn't a lot of that. Like even the Disney princesses that I like Rapunzel from Tangled, which again, Tangled is one of my favorite Disney movies. You know, Rapunzel, she wants to chase her dream. She wants to find out who she is. She wants to, yeah, but she doesn't really make a sacrifice for anybody else. It's really about her and pursuing her dream, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But that's why I like Tiana because she's such a good role model. She wants she fights for her dream. She's not expecting anybody to come and rescue her. She's working hard, and in the end, she gets rewarded because of her hard work. There are a few things though that I wish did explored in the movie. Like for example, when the dog talks to Tiana, I forget the dog's name now because she's now a frog, and she turns to Naveen and she's like, "Do you see that? That dog just spoke to me." She says the name of the dog, I don't remember. And he's like, "If you're gonna let every little thing affect you, then there's gonna be a long journey or something." I really wish it explored that because I want to know why the dog talked to her. Is it because she's a frog now? She's an animal, so she understands his language. I feel like that's a bit of a plot hole, but yeah, that was funny. I really like how the dog just went Tiana, and she's like, "Oh my gosh," she's all freaked out because the dog spoke to her. Because obviously animals have their own languages, and like my birds, they speak to each other all the time. They obviously understand each other, but if I don't know, like if an elephant came in now and started speaking to the birds in the elephant language, they wouldn't understand. I don't think. So Tiana's a frog. Why does she understand the dog? Why is the dog talking to her? I'm assuming they have different languages. Am I being really messy with this? I think I'm being really messy with this. Another thing that I like about the Princess and the Frog is the relationship that she has with. I said her name just now and I forgot. With her best friend, who's the rich girl, and I really like how. I think I messed up Naveen's hair. Oh, we'll find out. I really like, even though, oh, Charlotte, sorry, and she calls her Lottie, which I really like actually. I like that name, Lottie. I think that's really cute. And Charlotte, she's rich and she is spoiled, definitely. But she's not a bad person. She really likes Tiana. She's happy to help her. When she wants Tiana to make the man buns, she explains in the film because she wants to, you know, seduce Naveen before Naveen and Tiana get together. She gives her heaps of money. That okay, she takes from her father, but she gives her heaps of money, more money than those man buns were worth. And you can tell. I think she's trying to help her friend Tiana because she knows she's saving for a restaurant, and I really like that. I really like that. There's such a positive female and female relationship between these two girls. They could have really been like, oh, they've grown apart as they've grown older because one is rich and one is poor, one is black and one is white. But actually, that's not how they played at all. They're still really good friends, and I really love that. I think that's so great. That Lottie really doesn't judge her. She doesn't look at her and think, oh, she's inferior to me because of this and that. She still really likes Tiana, and I think that's really inspiring. And I really love their friendship. Lottie's and Tiana's friendship is one of my favorite relationships in the movie. I also really love Tiana's voice. She has such a beautiful voice. She can sing low, she can sing high. She has such range. She has such a pretty voice. There was some I can't say that word, but you know what I mean. Controversy about Naveen at the time because he wasn't a black guy. He's just this, I don't know, like random ethnic guy. They don't even really, oh yeah, he's from Moldonia, some made up country. And a lot of people are saying, why couldn't he be made black? And I have to say, that is a good point, actually, because I wondered that too. Um, why not just make him black and just say he's a prince from a country in Africa somewhere? But I don't know if it's because they wanted to use the actor. The actor who voices him is called Bruno Campos, which is a Portuguese name. I believe he's Brazilian. So maybe they just wanted to use that actor and just make him like from some random generic country that doesn't exist. I don't know what happened there, but I mean, I don't object to Naveen. I think Naveen is great. But I do wonder as well why they didn't just make the love interest black guys like as well, black like Tiana. I don't. It's a bit confusing to me as well. Oh, I just messed up his eyebrow. I'm talking too much. Maybe I'm using too much color. My desk is always messy when I paint. I hope that's okay. Some people they paint, they manage to keep their desk like unbelievably tidy. I think it's great. I'm very, very jealous, but I just can't seem to do that. Okay, totally messed up the eyebrow. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to fix that somehow. I'm just get rid of some color. So Joshua is just like talking. Not sure who he's talking to. Don't know if he's talking to me or if he's talking to his girlfriend. Oh, okay. I think he's talking to his girlfriend. She came out of the nest to play with him. Could do her eyebrow, which is very thin. Oh, I'm so bad at this. Jesus Christ. Oh my God, look at those eyebrows. That's so bad. I'm gonna have to wipe that. That's terrible. Okay. Tiana looks like she has two sausages on top of her eyes. So bad. It's okay. I've got an idea. Got an idea. Ooh. Okay, it's beginning to look a little bit streaky. Her eyes it's like popping out. Like what's happening? Like her eyes popping out. That's so weird. What's happening? It's okay. It's a bit streaky. Oh, thank you for the likes, guys. Got 4 likes. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yes, Joshua. My bird's talking to me. Gonna let her. Oh, actually, let me make. Let me just. Let me make her hair a little bit smaller. Ooh, okay, that was not planned. Not sure what happened there. Paintbrush just decided to escape. Fair enough. Can't really blame it. What's happening? Sometimes things just don't work. Oh my god, oh my god, that was terrible. Hopefully, I'll be able to salvage this. We'll find out. Like, so much darker here, but like much lighter up there. Why? Who knows? Mm. Okay. I'm just gonna leave her face for now, and I'll come back to it. Skin is not that dark, so uh, mm, okay. I've got a plan of how to salvage this. This is much trickier than I thought it was going to be. Uh, so, okay, I've got a plan. Just need to let this dry, but I'll block out the colors in the other places and see what happens. I think I'm gonna do her lips. Mm, it's definitely her skin color is not that dark, but okay. Okay, okay. Mm. Oh, what am I doing? Trying to fix that eyebrow, but I'm not being very successful. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed because the gouache turned out to be much trickier than it originally looked on the color chart. So I'm disappointed with that because I really don't like streakiness. That's one of my pet hates with cheap paint sets. You see that especially with acrylic. I avoid cheap acrylic like the plague because I really hate the streakiness that comes with it. I prefer acrylic that has the feel and look of oil, like the professional Liquitex and the golden professional paints. So yeah, streakiness just look at that, it looks terrible. I mean, I know that I didn't paint it very well, but truly, it's just looks terrible. But I'll fix it. I will fix it. Bear with me on this. I'm just going to wipe some of that paint away because it's too dark and so streaky. Eesh. Why? Why is it so streaky? I think it's maybe because I mixed colors. These were, these were the original colors straight from the tube, and they look really opaque and matte, and they look really great. But obviously, as you saw for this skin color, I mixed like three or four, maybe three colors. And with cheap watercolor sets, sometimes you do get that a lot, but the color looks a little bit muddy. I'm gonna let that dry. The good thing about gouache is that, like watercolor, you can, if you're not happy with something, if you've made a mistake, you can lift it and remove it and try again, which is great. Most water soluble paints, you can do that, except for acrylic. I mean, you can do it with acrylic if you don't let it dry. Once it's dried, that's it. You can't lift it anymore. It's done. It's permanent. So David from David's Arch channel is saying she got a bit of sunburn. Yeah, why not? I don't know how it works. Perhaps. But I'm just gonna lift some of that color and try again. At least my bird is enjoying himself. He's very happy, just jumping around. At the time when The Princess and the Frog came out, it was a big deal because it was the first 2D animation that Disney had released in a long time. They switched over to 3D permanently, and then they decided to give 2D a go again with The Princess and the Frog. So, a lot of people saying go watch the movie, even if it's not to your taste, just to support the 2D animation thing. And at the time I didn't, and I don't remember why. I think it's because I thought the trailer looked boring. But I really regret that now, and I really wish I'd gone to see it in the cinema because it's a really good film. And I really wish I'd supported the 2D animation camp because as much as I like 3D, I actually prefer 2D animation. So I like both of them, but I definitely prefer 2D animation. Oh my Joshua. Just wondering I really like the opera rose. I really want to make her shirt opera rose, but I'm a bit worried it's a bit too like too powerful a color. And then her lips. Let me do her lips. Is this kind of like red, scarlet, wait, crimson like? I think it's very close to that. I think also because the gouache is so opaque, I kind of lost my lines, the original lines that I had put down. Mm, yeah, that looks like a mess. I'm gonna have to. I think I'm making her upper lip too big. Mm. I like this color for the shirt as well, and that would actually go with her lips. So, oh, that's so beautiful. Look at that. That's gorgeous. Because the paper got a little bit damaged there, because when I was rubbing it out, there was water on the rubber. It's now creating this effect, which is not good. This is such a beautiful color. Oh my gosh, I love this color. That's a shame that the paper got ruined because that's really going to affect the outcome. Oh, that is a beautiful red. Look at that. That is so gorgeous. I don't like the streakiness. That's bugging me. That's really bugging me. Ay, ay, ay. I think when you don't dilute it with water, it's fine. It doesn't look terribly streaky. It looks matte and opaque like wash should, which is great. But when you dilute it with water, there is a little bit of streakiness. Mm. Mm. Hopefully, one day I'll be able to draw and paint like a Disney artist because that would be a dream come true. Imagine being that talented. Like I'm not supposed to use color straight out of the tube, and usually I don't. Usually I mix all my colors, but this is a cartoon, and I thought the color would work great for her shirt, so I thought I'll just use it straight out of the tube. I was going to use Opera Rose, but this is such a beautiful color that I just decided to go with this one instead. Oy, okay, so I'm going to let that dry. I think what I'm going to do before I continue painting in is just go over the cartoon with some pencils, because just to give it lines so I don't get lost again and I don't start painting outside of the lines. Um, I'll just do her sleeves. But yeah, like I think I have to make her hair even smaller than that actually. I'll make the sleeves all for rose, or well, in this case, just rose. They're supposed to be a lighter color. Oh, that was too much. It's a very powerful pink. It's really pretty. It's really pretty. I really love it. See what I mean though when I say a little goes a long way with these paints? That's one of the best features about these paints. You don't have to use a lot. It depends on the color, of course, but a little does go a long way. So these will last you a long time as well if you decide to get these. Mm, okay. Now, the first rule they teach you in art is, and at least in school when you're studying art, is don't paint outside the lines. So, what's happening? I don't know. I just can't seem to paint inside the lines. Yeah, okay. Okay. Mm, I'm gonna let this dry, and you know what? I'm gonna get my polychromos out and just go over it and try and get some lines because I think I'm making a mess of this. Um, yes, Joshua. Very happy, my bird. Just keeps chirping and chirping and chirping. Yes, Joshua? Yeah, sometimes things just go wrong. You know, it is what it is. But what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to let it dry. I need a toilet break anyway. So just see this as an intermission. I shouldn't take long, but I'm going to go to the toilet and I'm going to leave this to dry. When I come back, I'm going to add lines to it with my colored pencils, and then I'm going to try again. So I'll see you in 5 minutes. Yes, that is me being optimistic, but that's what I'm going to aim for. Just having some tea again. Okay, guys, see you soon. Be right back. Hey guys, I'm back. I'm just gonna close my door and I'm gonna close the windows because it's getting a bit cold now. And I don't want you guys to listen to the traffic noise because you already have my my finches in the background anyway. Hope that's a little bit better. I'll just check. Okay. I'm just gonna get my polychromos out while that's still drying. So just bear with me. Okay, guys, I've found my polychromos. I keep them inside this Derwent canvas bag. I think that's what they're called. Um, what I do when I get professional pencils is I separate the light fast ones from the non-light fast ones. So I've got my non-light fast polychromos in a box with other non-light fast pencils from other brands. So everything here in this bag, all of these are light fast. So really, I shouldn't be using these, but I'm going to. I should be using my non-light fast ones, but I'm just going to use it because all I'm doing is outlines anyway, so it shouldn't really use up a lot of pigment. Let me just soak up the water again because I spilled a lot earlier when I was rubbing the guidelines out. Okay. Polychromos are great pencils because they are a professional brand. They're not terribly expensive. It really depends which package you go with, the 12, the 24. But even so, I don't think they're terribly expensive considering that they're good quality. And they're really good with like lines. They have very pointy tips. So, oh, sorry guys, just checking one thing. Okay. Not sure how this ended up here. I'm not sure what that is. Okay. Right. They have very pointy tips, and so it's quite easy to get fine lines with these pencils, which is why so many people like them. Okay. Okay, so it's pretty dry. That's the good thing about this paper. I've said it in videos in the past. This is my sketchbook, which I've been using to paint on for these videos. It's from an art shop in London called El Cornelison and Son. I'm probably saying that wrong. It's near Holborn, near the British Museum. It's one of my favorite art shops, and it is made with Fabriano paper. So I'll just use this. It's really good paper. Really good for watercolor, pastels, pencils, really anything. Okay, right, so I'm gonna start with Tiana's skin color. I wish I had my color chart at hand, but I don't. What's this? It's walnut brown. Yeah, I can use this one. Now let me just get my sharpener. Okay, so this is my Derwent sharpener, manual sharpener. I love it, really. Got a lot of things on my floor, so if you hear banging, that's what it is. And the shaking is because this, ooh, just getting, that was silly of me. Okay, let's sharpen this pencil. This is fun. I actually do love sharpening pencils on a manual sharpener. I want more of a pointier tip. And that's the thing about the polychromos. They don't break easily. I've had them break on me before, definitely. They don't break that easy. So you can get them to a pretty sharp point, which is great. Okay, let me just look at the reference picture again. Okay, I should have done this to begin with, really. I think her eyebrow is too low on her face as well. I'm gonna have to, like, start again with that. Is that, no, that's the right color. Let's see if they sharpen well. What am I saying? Let's see if they rub off well. They do. This is really helpful. Okay, great. So the eye is like, maybe I should do the nose and the eye first. The face kind of goes like this into the eye. Okay, and the ears kind of starts here. Okay. Okay, I'm a little heavy-handed and I think I pressed too hard and that point just broke, but it's okay. We'll keep going with what I have. Yeah, let me just sharpen that again. See if this time hopefully I won't be so heavy-handed this time around. Okay. It's not just rubbing off the pencil, it's also rubbing off the color, interestingly enough. Then we have the nose here. So just a line like this. Completely lost the nose line. The lips are too big. I put the pink in the wrong place. Gonna sharpen this one. Oh, cool. Wait, I think I'll try a different rubber. This one is a Faber-Castell rubber, so oh, that's wrong. Ay, ay, ay. Can't get the eye right. Getting too much is always a nightmare. Okay, so I'm gonna try the nose again. The lips are a little bit more down here. That weird noise you're hearing, that's the baby chick. Doesn't sound like a mom and dad yet. Ah! Too heavy-handed. Okay. Okay. Maybe is her mouth too big? I may have made her face a bit too small. And then she kind of has this dimple here. I think I made her face too small. She has a dimple. Okay, let me use the pink for the sleeves and that one there. And for the hammer, maybe this one. Ah, that's so annoying. Ugh. Uh, can't even see the fingers. The fingers look they just look like sausages. Let me try that again. No, 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 no. The water keeps spilling from the cups. This is a nightmare, honestly. I am in hell right now. Nothing is working today. That's a new sound. I haven't heard that one before. The hands look absolutely terrible. Oh, God. Okay, let me try this one. Is it the same? It's the same color. Um, let me try this one for the hammer. Okay, I'm gonna have to redraw that. think next time I'm not gonna fill up the cups with water so much because obviously when I rub things out, the water just comes out everywhere. Okay, the hammer. Let's try and work on Tiana again. So I'm just gonna put my polychromes away. See if I can salvage this. Look how wet that is. Because the water just keeps going everywhere. Every time I rub out, I'm gonna have to find a way to get around this because it spilled more water than last time. I think maybe because the cups were fuller, but that's really not helpful. Okay, let's try. Let's try again. Oh, the brushes fell. Well, that's interesting. As you can see here, once the paint dried, it's like peeling off. That's not good. Yeah, I hope you can see that. See how it's cracking and peeling? That's not a good sign. Okay. There's some dried paint on the brush, so I'm just trying to lift it from the brush. Okay. My original drawing was so much better. Okay, I'm gonna have to lift those eyebrows because they're too low. Okay. Yeah, look at that. It's like it just cracks. That weird. That's not good. Oh, though, apparently I just remembered gouache apparently does that. It can crack a lot. So that's one thing to contend with, but I think that's probably more common in cheaper gouache. think I made this side a bit too big. Okay. My original drawing was so much better. Okay. I know that gouache is supposed to kind of like crack once it's dried, but I just think that it's too cracked, even by gouache standards. Yeah, gonna let that dry and try again. Because that does not look like Tiana. I think I'm losing the will to live. Right. It was so much better before. Okay. So I mixed this Crimson Lake with white, and white should be white fast. It's titanium white, so I'm assuming it will be made with PR6, I believe that's the name of the pigment. You can see the difference how the previous one, the Crimson Lake on its own, was a little bit streaky, and the washes that it created weren't very pretty. But when white was added, it became quite matte and opaque and in a really nice way. So yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed with some of the results I got from mixing some of the colors. My female bird, Shoshana, was like looking at me, like thinking, "What is she doing?" She actually stood on one of the branches that's in the cage, and she stretched herself high to try and see outside the cage. Like she was looking at the desk, trying to work out what was going on. I know she was trying to work out what I was doing. She's so cute. I was able to cover some of the things on the paper. So that's really nice. I find it hard to see with this light shining directly on the paper. They have to change the light at some point. I think that works better with the upper rows. Let's see if I can. That's better. It's actually thicker here and then thinner the other side. Mm. I have to do lines on Naveen as well because, yeah, I just find it really hard to see. Like a lot of cheap art supplies, this one is leaving patches in certain spaces, not all over, but so the quality is not consistent, which is a shame. I got a little too excited with the black there. I think originally the shape of the face was different, and I made it this way this time because of my mistake, and that's why it doesn't quite look like Tiana, because I changed the shape of the face. But I'm just gonna leave it like that because if I was to change it now, it would take too long. So what I'm going to do, guys, because I'm really struggling with this light, I'm gonna let this dry, and I'm going to do the outlines on Naveen when I can see better without the light like shining down on my eyes. And I'm gonna leave it there. This will be part one, and then I'll come back for part two. And yeah, I'll finish this painting in part two because I think I need a break as well. I've made a lot of mistakes and I feel a little bit disappointed that it's not turning out the way I wanted it to. But that's okay because not every painting is going to be perfect. Not every painting is going to turn out the way we expect it to. That's just a part of life. Sometimes paintings look great, sometimes they don't. I know I can make it look better than this. It's probably not going to look the way I would have liked it to look, but with work, I probably can make it look better. But I really do need a break from the painting. So I'll come back to it in another part, and we'll see what happens. We'll see, what the finished product looks like. But it's okay. It's okay to make mistakes and for things not to turn out the way you expect them to, because that's just a part of life. Not everything is going to be perfect. Not everything is going to be great. And I'll just learn for next time. I think my original drawing looked quite good. And I think my painting of it hasn't been very successful. So maybe if I hadn't painted over it, it would have looked great. Maybe it's just my painting skills that need polishing. That's fine. I'm not, when it comes to paint, I started out with colored pencil. If I was doing it in colored pencil, I think I would have made it look a little bit better. I would have had more control. But I'm quite new to paints of all sorts, even though I really do enjoy, using them. So we'll see what happens. I'll let it dry. I'll come back to it. I think I've made it look better than what it was before, but it's still not quite as good as I was hoping. But I will do the outlines on Naveen, sorry, off camera, just so I can lean in and really see what I'm doing. And I'll try and fix some of the mistakes on Tiana. But it is looking better than before. I think just not as good as I was hoping. Not, what I was expecting. But again, it's just a part of life. Sometimes things are not going to work out the way you want them to. Anyway, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked the video and you enjoyed the video, even though, there's a lot of mistakes that I still need to fix. But if you do like my content, if you're learning from it, or if you just enjoy what I do, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. Anything is appreciated. And yeah, share it with your friends and on your social media, and encourage people to come and watch my content, because I'm a small channel, so I could use with any type of support that you guys are willing to give me. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I am truly grateful to all of you, and have a lovely weekend, whatever is left of it, whatever you are in the world. And yeah, I hope you're safe. Keep safe and enjoy. And I hope, like again, like with England, whatever you are, that your country is also slowly coming out of lockdown. Maybe you're out of lockdown already, because I know London has had it pretty bad in the last few weeks. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed what I've done anyway. And yeah, thank you so much for everything. Enjoy. Bye. See you on the next part.